Today on Locked On Women's Basketball, we talk to women's basketball player Odyssey Sims about what it's like to be hooping down in Nashville for Athletes Unlimited. Then we'll talk a little bit more about her upcoming season with the LA Sparks and get into a little bit of basketball would you rather to end it off. Thank you for watching. This is Locked On Women's Basketball.
You are Locked On Women's Basketball, your daily podcast on women's basketball. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome to Locked On Women's Basketball. I am here with Odyssey Sims, who is currently down in Nashville with Athletes Unlimited, absolutely crushing it, in the top rankings for points, assists, steals. So first of all, thank you so much for joining me today, Odyssey. And let's just dive into it. What about Athletes Unlimited do you think allows you to be able to just play so freely?
Athletes Unlimited is just always fun. I think from just year one to year four, every year it just gets more fun for me. I think, like I say this I've been saying it as of lately. I love the game and the game loves me back. I think I know my abilities on the court. I can score, I can pass, I can affect the game defensively. So Athletes Unlimited, is run by players. So we have different captains every week, and we basically are coaching our team. Like, yes, we have a facilitator. They do a really, really good job with helping us out, subbing if needed, basically whatever we need help with, plays, out of bounds, even after timeouts. Like, that's where the facilitators come in. So, and obviously I've been a captain a lot in the previous years. Second, this year, I've been captain. I was captain last week and this week. So it's a little different when you're a captain because it's your team. So you get the ability, if you want to just shoot every shot, you can. Not saying it like that, but it just gives you the freedom to just play, and be you. I think I know, year two, when I played AU, I was in the middle of just what do I want to do? Do I want to keep playing basketball? Is this it? I had my struggles with the W in and out the league the last few years. So AU kind of brought me back to just loving the game, and it's helped me to basically continue to go. I just told myself I was never going to give up, and I played my way into a contract with LA. So I couldn't be more thankful to come back, for them to allow me to come back every year. But it's just fun. It's fun. Yeah. Fun to be a part of. It's fun to watch. If you're not a part of it, that's the best way I can describe it.
Yeah. And the unique thing about the format is that, like you said, you get to draft your teams. And so I saw you picked my girl Kia Nurse this week.
Yes.
We had her on the pod a few weeks ago. I'm from Canada as well. So
okay.
Love her. Yeah. So we have that connection. But as a team captain, what kind of goes through your mind when you're drafting? What do you prioritize? Do you game plan differently every time, or is it kind of the same formula?
I thought, because I've been a captain so many times, I would have thought by now that I would have it. Okay. I would have thought by now that I would have the strategy together. I know how I'm going to pick my team, but it's still complicated. Even being a captain, 90% of the time since I've been at AU, it's still nerve-wracking, because you kind of have your first couple picks. Then it's somebody else picks them. What do? Now you're scrambling, trying to okay, I can pick this one too, or maybe you just kind of you take chances. And I know I picked my team this week with people that I know are just going to play hard. That's just going to play hard, whether they play 5 minutes, whether they play 40. I think that's the biggest thing going into this week, champion week. Clearly it's out of me and Maddie. So it's going to literally come down to the last game. So, it was still stressful today. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
More stressful because a couple people I haven't played with on my team that I wanted to make sure I got, and it worked out for me. So I was happy about that. But I'm just excited. I think I really have the most solid team.
Yeah. Do you comparison to playing on a WNBA team or, a different team, for example, do you approach these games differently because you're going into it with a mindset of, it's a solo kind of chart where we're banking points and there's one champion at the end? Or do you just kind of approach it the same because you're it's a team sport, we're all trying to get the win regardless?
I don't approach it any different. I think, like you said, it's a team sport. Yes, we have a leaderboard. You get pluses and minuses. You get deductions and you get points for just about everything.
Yeah.
So I just always tell myself like that's gonna take care of itself. I can't go out and play perfect all week and make sure that I try to go 10 for 10, and not have any turnovers and not have any errors. I think like what's gonna happen is gonna happen. If I'm a champion at the end of it, then it was destined for it to be me. If it's not, if it's Maddie, it was destined to be her. At the end of the day, my goal always playing AU because I know like how good I am on the court, because I can score the ball. My end goal is always top four. Of course, my goal is to be number one at the end of this year because I'm really, really close. But whoever gets it is going to deserve it out of me and Maddie. So just going to play hard and kind of just let these games, let everything just take care of itself, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, for sure. And, you're someone who has, been a part of professional basketball for a really long time, have had to plan your off seasons. So as a player, like what goes through your mind when you're trying to decide, do I want to play AU? Do I want to go overseas? Do I want to not do anything over the off season and just prepare for the W? Like what is the thought process?
Well, I did play overseas, but like it was 6 years ago.
Yeah.
I tried it out overseas. I played in Turkey the first few years. Like my rookie year, I was in South Korea, and then a few years after that, I just kept going back to Turkey.
Yeah.
Honestly, it just wasn't for me. Yes, we do have a long off season. It was kind of one of those. I felt like every situation I went overseas, it was just always not a good situation.
Yeah.
Then we fast forward to this off season. I was in China in November and December, but once again, unfortunate situation. I just had to part ways and come back, and because I wasn't going to play AU this year because I was thinking that I was still going to be overseas, and that situation happened. Basically, just kind of called Sid and was just like, hey, if it's too late, I understand. I'll try to make it out for a weekend just to show my support. Yeah. But if I could play, I would love to. And she made it happen for me. So I just think like it's good now. There's a new league with Unrivaled as well. Yeah. Just having more options to not have to worry about going overseas. I like it for the young players because now they have two options. Everybody won't be able to play in Unrivaled. Everybody won't be able to play in Athletes Unlimited. But at least giving the younger players that's coming out their second and third year that really don't want to go overseas, now they have other ways to make money. So I think it's good. But like I said, I love playing AU.
Yeah. And do these leagues, like whether you're playing on an off-season or overseas team together or AU or Unrivaled, do those relationships that you make, do they kind of carry over into your WNBA season, whether it's like teammates or who you're facing every night?
I think that's the beauty of Athletes Unlimited too. Like you're familiar with the players that are playing in the league, but there's a lot of players this year that I'm not familiar with, but I think I've had the chance to play with just about everybody within these 4 weeks. So it's cool. You make bonds with certain people. Some people that you just didn't think you would click, or you just never know. You end up being cool with them, and it does carry over because now you have more people that you can connect with. Just checking in on somebody goes a long way. You never know. Life is hard. You never know what somebody's going through. Things happen within the blink of an eye. You just never know. So being able to just have those connections where you could just check on somebody and make somebody's day, see how they're doing. Definitely is the beauty of it.
Yeah. And is there someone like this season in particular that you didn't really have a relationship with before, and now you're like, okay, like that's my person?
Let me see. Who have I bonded with this year? Who have I bonded with? I think there's not one in specific person that I bonded with. It's just been fun to be around some great players. Like I never played with Ty Harris, but I know she's a great player. She can shoot the ball well. She's just a sniper when it comes to shooting. But I've been speaking to everybody, honestly. Now you kind of put me on on Front Street, and now I got to think about it. I'll come back to you if I got an answer. But I
Okay,
think
sounds good.
honestly, I've just been bonding with just everybody. We
Yeah.
have 2 locker rooms, so it's not like we're in a locker room with everybody. They did something different this year. Like lower numbers are in the locker room, and then the higher numbers are in a different locker room. So the people I have in my locker room are pretty cool.
Yeah, cool. Coming up next, we're going to talk to Odyssey Sims a little bit more about her upcoming WNBA season with the LA Sparks. Stay tuned. With Robinhood Gold, you can now enjoy the VIP treatment, receiving a 3% IRA match on retirement contributions. The privileges of the very privileged are no longer exclusive. With Robinhood Gold, your annual IRA contributions are boosted by 3%. Plus, you also get 4% APY on your cash in non-retirement accounts. That's over 8 times the national savings average. The perks of the high net worth are now available for any net worth. The new gold standard is here with Robinhood Gold. To receive your 3% boost on annual IRA contributions, sign up at robinhood.com/gold. Investing involves risk. Rate subject to change. 3% match requires Robinhood Gold at $5 per month for 1 year from first match. Must keep funds in IRA for 5 years. Go to robinhood.com/boost. Over 8 times the national average savings account interest rate claim is based on data from the FDIC as of November 18th, 2024. Robinhood Financial LLC, member SIPC. Gold membership is offered by Robinhood Gold LLC. Just kind of switching now gears to the WNBA in the upcoming season. You're going to be playing in LA again, but with a new coach. So I'm curious, what you're looking forward to in this season now coming up in the WNBA, and if you've kind of like talked to your new coach a little bit, in the time since you've both kind of signed.
I have talked to her, and my GM came to scrimmage week. They were already out here showing their support, and I love that. So I've talked to both of them. We've connected. And I'm excited. We just got Kelsey Plum. Yep. Didn't get a chance to play with Cameron Brink because she was hurt last year. Yep. So I'm just excited with the group that we have, and Rakia Jackson as well. Yep. Ray Burrell. I think all the way from 1 to 12, I think my team is stacked. I could be being a little biased, of course. Obviously, there's other teams to for people to keep their eyes on, but definitely think that this is going to be just a good season. I know we're going to go to playoffs. I'm excited just to win more games, just to have a complete turnaround season from last year, and to be playing with Kelsey, Cameron, De'Erica. I played with her last year, Azare. And Mercedes. We got Mercedes Russell, and we have Emma Cannon, who are great people. They have a tremendous work ethic. So I just think put all that together with everything that we got, I think we definitely could make some noise. So I'm just excited that I'm just a part of it, of course, and to be playing this season.
Yeah. And as someone who's kind of played in a few different WNBA markets, what makes LA a cool sports market to play in?
Well, it's LA. A lot of people come to LA. That's where a lot of people make their dreams happen. So I'm excited just to be in market, to see what I can do within the community, like going to schools, talking to different schools, continuing to inspire young girls. I think that's going to be my pinpoint this season, making sure I get out in the community and just make sure everybody knows the Sparks will be the team to make sure you watch this season for sure. It's going to be fun. I'm just excited.
Yeah. And, kind of speaking towards community and the growth of women's basketball, what do you think is the biggest thing that has changed since you started to now?
Women's basketball just took a complete turn, I think, from college basketball to WNBA, AU, Unrivaled. The game is just growing. The viewerships that went up, ticket sales that went up, partnerships with more sports networks to make sure all of our games are televised. I could keep going on and on. I know the WNBA has a new CBA that's coming up for 2026, so that could mean more money for us. Yay.
Yeah.
Bigger markets, I think, for all teams. I know the WNBA teams, not all of them, but each team is working at getting practice facilities, their own gyms. So I think that's huge.
Yeah.
It's going to be dope. I think when it's all said and done, the WNBA will have we have more teams.
Yeah.
They're continuing to add more teams every year, so that's exciting. So it's not just 144 anymore. I know people have talked, draft picks as of lately. I know when I came in, like the first few years of the league, it was like if you were in the first group of like 1 through 11 when you get drafted, first rounders never got cut. Now you see anybody can get cut. It doesn't matter. Some teams keep third rounders. Some people are cutting first rounders, keeping second rounders. It's just nobody's safe. And that just goes to show that, yes, WNBA does need more teams, but our game is just getting more competitive. And I think for just the GMs and the coaches, they don't even know, like, we might keep her, we might not, and I feel like it's hard for them too because they have to make tough decisions. And, of course, just the backlash. So I'm excited just because women's basketball is continuing to grow, and we're just seeing every year is just growing. And this is, at the end of the day, this is what we wanted. So for me to be a part of something where we're paving the way for it to actually where the young ones, when they come in, they'll actually feel like they're a part of the WNBA and won't have to go through as many struggles as we did. Of course, WNBA still has a long way to go with chartering and, like I said, just the practice facilities, us having our own everything. It's going to come, but I like the direction that it's going. It's going to take some time, but when it's all said and done, it's going to be great.
Yeah, and you kind of touched on expansion a little bit. I mean, you played for a team, you were drafted to a team that like no longer exists. There's a lot of movement. So we have now Golden State, Toronto, and Portland that are coming up. If you could pick the next the next city for expansion, what city would you pick?
I would say Houston. I think they should bring Houston Comets back.
Yeah, for sure. I agree. There's so many good teams that they could just bring back in general, like Charlotte and Detroit and all of that stuff.
I was I looked it up. I think it was probably like last week where I was just looking at the older WNBA teams because on Instagram and stuff, everybody's like, bring back this team. And I'm like, wait a minute. I didn't even know there was a team in Charlotte. I didn't know y'all had other teams way before that just like basically, okay, they moved to like Detroit, Shock, moved to Tulsa, Shock, and then Tulsa is now Dallas Wings. So some teams kept but changed the names along the way. Exactly. So I think it's definitely cool, but I think they can bring a team back to Charlotte as well.
Exactly.
I think that's going to be good. Just put it in cities that were like, I feel like you got to pick your poison. You just don't know. Like, of course, people watch women's basketball, but obviously putting us in cities where it's a more of like a sport where we know everybody's going to watch. So I think that's kind of hard too because you just never know. Of course, you can have a team where you could say like they're basketball, they love basketball, but then the ticket sales and the fans may not be there. But I like the direction. I like the expansion. I think every expansion team, they're going to have good crowds because women's basketball is growing, and why not watch us? Like, duh.
Exactly. And, speaking of expansion, just a little, like, have you ever been to Toronto? I'm curious.
No, I haven't. No. Yeah? I've only flew to Toronto for a stop and then literally left to go home. That was it. Yeah. But I've heard that Toronto is nice. It's on my list to go, but never been.
Yeah, I'm excited because, the NBA, people always get like Toronto winter, which can be hard, but like Toronto summer is absolutely where it's at. So I'm excited for the W players to be able to like get that experience because Toronto summer is just, it's hard to explain. It's just really fun and really nice. So
I can't wait. Can't wait. Love going to a city that I've never been to. I can be kind of like a tourist in a sense.
Exactly.
And see what you guys have.
Yeah, we have street festivals. We have like a Carabana every summer where it's like a Caribbean like parade, like a weekend long festival. There's a lot. It's like really fun. So I'm excited like that W players will like be able to get that experience instead of just like the cold experience that everybody describes. I'm like, it's not like that in the summer. Coming up next, we get into a little bit of fun with Odyssey as we talk about basketball. Would you rather? Stay tuned. This is Locked On Women's Basketball. NBA fans, get ready. They swoosh, you save. Thanks to Dash Pass, every time a player drops 50 or more points in a game, you score a huge deal the next day. It's simple. When any player scores 50 or more in a game during the 24-25 NBA regular season, Dash Pass members get 50% off an order up to $10 off the next day from noon until midnight. Need a quick and easy lunch the next day? With Dash Pass, you can get your favorite meals with $0 delivery fees and reduced service fees. Plus, now you save even more with this exclusive NBA offer. Sign up to Dash Pass and be ready to save. When any player scores 50 or more in a game, Dash Pass members get 50% off an order the next day, up to $10 off. Just use promo code NBA50 from noon until midnight after a 50-point game on eligible orders at participating merchants. Must have an active Dash Pass account. Terms apply. Visit DoorDash to learn more. Let's take a little bit of a turn and, get some fun questions out here. So we're gonna play a little bit of like a would you rather basketball edition. So I'll just give you two options or just ask a question. You just kind of pick the first thing that comes to mind. Very casual. But this one kind of relates to what we were just talking about. But you have an off day in a different city. Are you resting in your hotel room or exploring the sites?
Resting in my hotel room.
Yeah. Definitely in season, you got to take the rest where you can.
For sure.
Are you an early morning practice person or a late night practice person?
I would prefer early morning over late night.
Yeah.
But then if you practice late, you got to wait all day. You can't really do nothing. Can't do too much until you got to wait till practice comes and then it's over. And when practice over, the day is over.
Yeah.
So early for sure.
Yeah, that makes sense. What are your favorite shoes to play in?
Right now, I have been playing, I'm playing in the KDs. I don't know the actual name of them, but AU gave them to us. Yeah. But I like the Devin Bookers, and I like the LeBron Next Generation. Those are my most favorite shoes.
Cool. Awesome. So with your pregame fit, are you going comfy or runway?
Comfy every time. Comfy every time. I do got to step it up a little bit. On the fashion side in LA, because I'm gonna be in LA. I think all my teammates can dress.
You got Cam, you got Rakia, those girls are coming.
All can dress their butts off, not gonna lie. Yeah. So it's one of those I gotta look apart. So I definitely got some things up my sleeve for some fits. So it's gonna be runway this summer, but if I gotta pick for sure, I'm definitely going comfy. Sweats all day.
For sure, same. Yeah, I definitely have to keep up with Cam and Rakia and all those girls because they know how it's done. I could never.
They are. They always just fine. I love that. These are my teammates. I can't wait.
Yeah. Oh, they're so fun. Do you prefer a loud or a subtle and one celebration?
Subtle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You got to prove it on the court and,
Yeah, I just let everything, like I said, just kind of let everything take care of itself. It was already, what was done is already written. So I'm just living it, and what's gonna happen, it'll happen.
Yeah. So if it's your birthday, would you rather play a basketball game or have an off day?
I would rather have an off day, but I've been playing on my birthday, so
yeah,
it's not bad. It's okay.
Yeah.
But I don't really do anything for my birthday anyway, so it really doesn't matter.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes, I'm on a call. Sorry.
No, it's okay. Would you rather play with makeup or without?
With makeup.
Yeah. I love that. I always I need one of these days. I'm I need to know the setting spray that you all are using because the makeup stays.
Well, what do I have now? I was using MAC, but I switched over to Fenty. Fenty products are really, really good. Okay. But there's a setting spray that I get from MAC that I still use. I don't know the name of it, but I put that on before I actually put my makeup on and lasts the entire game.
Okay. I love it. Yeah. Okay. Got to write down these tips and go look for that. And then last one is when you're playing, nails done or natural?
Nails done every time. Love. I hate when my nails are not done. I feel like I'm going to have a bad game if my nails are not done.
Yeah. And do you try to coordinate your nail color with the team that you're playing on or the vibe, or do you just kind of go with what you want?
I tried that in college. It didn't really go too well. I feel like we lost every time I had the opponent's color. So I really just go based off of how I feel, whatever color, like the mood I'm in at that time.
Yeah.
Something like my favorite color is red. I haven't really had red since AU, really as of lately. But just literally whatever color I feel, even if it's a different color, I just go with whatever I kind of feel at that moment.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it.
No problem.
This is super fun. I can't wait to keep watching you in AU and, in the WNBA this summer.
Thank you.
Awesome. So, yeah, we'll talk next soon.
Okay.